Say hi, Usha. Good evening.
Hey Satish, hi. So Satish, as usual, we'll just wait for 1-2 minutes more. Okay, if no one is joining, then I'll start it with you. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
waiting. Yeah. Say hi, Pratiksha.
Yeah, hello.
Hi Pratiksha. So Satish and Pratiksha, since you two were there and others you took up. So in the meantime, just I wanted to know, like, means whatever we have covered till now, have you people gone through that? If not, then
Oh,
till how much
hi
actually you
Usha.
people covered?
Hi Usha. I have started going through those videos right from the beginning because in between I had missed some sessions, and yeah, I have started going through like from day one. So yeah, we'll try to cover up. The problem here is like I have some overlapping calls, so that's the reason I missed some of the
Yeah,
sessions.
I got it, but see, the thing is that it happens like with everyone, and while upscaling, right? It happens. Means see, uh, in today's time, what actually I have experienced, like in my 20-year experience, okay, it's like the most demand for everyone is like full stack, okay? Means
Correct.
uh, the company which hires you, right? They want everything in one person, like the full UI skill, the database skill, the backend skill. Okay. So definitely today or tomorrow, everyone has to upskill to full stack only. That is for sure. Okay. And when you are upskilling, definitely other commitments are there and you need to take care of that. But at the same point of time, you just commit to yourself, set some target. Okay. By this time, just make your plan. By this date, I should complete this, like that. Okay. And some minimal practice also is required. Okay. Once this course is over, right, then it would be difficult to catch up actually.
Okay,
Now
Usha,
we,
but no, yeah, go
yes.
ahead. You can continue. Maybe ask it.
Yeah. Actually, what I'm saying that since the course is like in progress, right? At least you are able to once interacting with me and going through the live session. In between, you are also like not able to attend. That I understand. But the thing is that once the course is over, right? Whatever like spirit you are having now, that won't you won't find it anymore. Once it is over, that is for sure. So that's the reason I am actually even in the group. I'm also keep on saying that like be attentive, be committed. Okay, so just at least during the upskilling program, just you may need to sacrifice your sleep at least 1 hour. You need to find from your daytime or from your night time for the upskilling program, along with the session, 1 hour session and 1 hour for completing like the course, whatever has been taught or the backlog like that. That is how you can find yourself means confident once the program is over. And you can, whatever interview question I'll share later, right? So people can go through that and if you want, I can also help you in mock interview and all those things. So that way it is going to help you in full scale. Yeah, that's all actually I wanted to tell you. Yeah, Pratiksha, you were saying something.
We need IntelliJ for this, right? So currently, I need to request in my, I need to raise SD for that and post that I'll be able to practice. So I will try to do that.
Okay, so you are this IntelliJ you are installing in your official laptop.
Yeah.
Okay. what I will suggest, don't means do it in your official laptop. You must be having your personal laptop as well, right?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll
Where
do
you
that.
need to install MySQL server and all those stuff. Okay, we'll
Yeah, that
also
will be better.
yeah, go through it and just IntelliJ ID you download. Okay, install it. Don't wait for anyone. Use your personal laptop. Have your
Okay.
JDK environment there. Means in this way you can have environment setup experience as well. Okay,
Yeah, we'll do that.
so it will be too easy for you guys. Like in 1 or 2 session, I'm going to take the session on Docker. Docker, you must have heard, right? Dockerization, then Kubernetes, all these things. Have you heard of? No? Okay, no issue. I'll in 1 or 2 session, I'll go through the Dockerization. So with Dockerization, it will be too easy for MySQL installation and all that stuff. So that we will do. Anyway, I'll start our today's class. So let me start my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay, so today actually what I'm planning that I'll go through the MySQL server installation. MySQL server, you people can explore and install it. Okay, I have already installed. And today what I'm planning that how we can till the time what we were doing, we were having S2 console database, right? And how this S2 console database you can enable in the Java Spring Boot, that also I have taught, and how we have created the API with the S2 console as repository, that also I have told you all, right? So now today what I am planning that see, first of all, I'll tell you the few steps. Like if I want MySQL server to install, let me just do the table. I will just write something. The session. Just do it. Okay, now I'll start it from the scratch. See, we were like using the S2 console database. So the idea was very simple. Like we were starting with the form.xml where we were just putting the dependency Spring Data JPA along with Spring Data JPA and this S2 console database. These two dependency we were importing in our form.xml. And then after to that, we were creating the user repository. Then we were creating the entity. And then in the user controller, we were using that. Okay, and one last but not least, in application property also, the resources, the application dot property, some of the property we were having. But today what I am planning that today I'll just uh, change the database. Since S2 console database is it is a memory based database. This database is not getting created in some storage, right? It is getting created in the memory. So whenever the Spring Boot Tomcat server is getting stopped, then then your database is also getting vanished. So which I don't want. I want my data to be saved permanently. So I will this S2 console database, it is generally used for the test. Okay, for testing purpose it is used. But now what I want, I don't want this S2 console database. I want JP database. Okay, sorry, I want MySQL database. So what I will do, I'll just import this dependency. This is the dependency you need to install your form.xml. Okay, so you should start it with your, just let me ping you. What is the dependency we are going to use? This is the dependency, MySQL dependency we are supposed to use. Okay. So if you are not taking any running node, that is also fine. But if you are taking, that is well and good, because just means have some privacy point from my teaching, just note it down. So what we will do, we'll start it from the form.xml. That is the step one. Okay. Spring Boot starter data JPA has to be there. Okay. What is the responsibility of this dependency? Spring Boot starter data JPA. Can anyone answer to this? Spring Boot starter data JPA. What it does? This is for database connectivity, isn't it? This is for database connectivity. Guys, at least say yes, no, something, okay? So that I can feel that you people are there. Okay. So Spring Boot, this is for database connectivity. S2 console database is for the database to be present. Means it, in the runtime, we wanted the database to be created. That's why this dependency was using. But now which database I want in the runtime? I want this database. MySQL connector -j. This database I want in the runtime. So I don't need this. So just what I will do, I'll just put this dependency in my form.xml. That's all. That is, but remember, whatever the database may be, Postgres, or if it is a cloud database or whatever it may be, you should use Spring Boot starter data JPA. That is the minimum thing you should have. Okay. This database, this dependency is for your SQL query writing, for entity creation. Means you are just creating the entity, but this framework is doing all the responsibility. It is performing all the responsibility for us. We are just writing the entity, which is nothing but your table, right? We are writing the entity. This is the framework. This is the jar file which is writing all the table for us in the database. It is writing all, it is performing, it is executing all the SQL query, right? It is creating the SQL query and it is creating the data, everything this is doing. The database connectivity, everything this JP does for us, okay? Now, see, the thing is that I don't need to, means previously I was having S2 console database. Now for MySQL, I will just have the dependency. That's all. And apart from that, what I will do, I will just put some property in my application.property file. That is the only thing that will take, means the rest of the thing will be taken care by the framework itself. Means the JPA database will, the JPA jar, the Spring Boot starter JPA, the one which I was showing in the form.xml, this will just create the table in MySQL. So from S2 console, my table will be migrated to the MySQL connector J. So it is very easy actually. Means most of the time what I have seen that, like previously in one of my project, I'm just sharing my experience. We were having Oracle database. Okay. Oracle database, and that time the client was paying huge amount. Okay. So it was like they wanted to save their cost, so they wanted to migrate it to some MySQL database or some Postgres, some database they were migrating. Okay, at that time we were using this Spring Boot starter JPA. That this is the dependency we were using. Okay, Spring Boot starter data JPA. So what we did, we just means it was a means very easy means migration. We just did what we just put the dependency in the form.xml. Okay, then in the application.property file, we were we gave all the like details, like what is the data source URL means the MySQL is going to be my new data source, right? Previously, my data source was Spring Boot data source URL was your this one, this S2 console, right? But now my database is this one, MySQL. This is the URL for MySQL. JDBC colon MySQL running in this server at this port, and the database name is testdb. Okay. So, and then the username for the data source and password for the data source is root and root. So you need to put the data source username and password, and which driver your data to connect to your data source, which driver class will be used from the MySQL. This one you have to mention that this much, this property you should, these four property are very much useful for the connectivity. That's all. The rest of the thing, your form.xml is going to perform for you. You don't need to worry about it. So user entity, it is as like before only, the way I was having before, right? Same thing. Nothing means different I am doing here. Okay. So your first step when you are migrating your database, you don't need to do anything. Just put the database detail, like the database related dependency. If it is MySQL dependency. If it is Postgre dependency, or if it is some cloud relational database. In cloud also they use, if it is AWS or GCP, whatever, or they will use either MySQL variant or PostgreSQL variant or some SQL server or whatever. You just need to put that dependency. That's all. Okay. And then this dependency is containing the driver class. Okay. So this is why you have to put this dependency, which is required in your runtime. And this is the corresponding property you need to put. This property we are using before also, because we wanted to see the SQL, right? So SQL true. You have to put this one, and this property I have to keep here. This is also this MySQL dialect. MySQL dialect is Hibernate dialect. Hibernate dialect means see the JPA, this JPA Spring Boot Starter Data JPA. Internally it is using Hibernate only. Okay. So Hibernate is going to use which platform? Dialect is platform. Which platform it will use? This MySQL platform it will use. So this class name you have to provide. This property you need to just put. Okay. This is the so no one is going to ask you like in the interview what all thing you are see in the interview. The question is like when you are migrating your database, relational database from MySQL to Postgre, what thing you do. So what you need to tell that in form.xml PostgreSQL database driver related dependency I have to put, the way actually MySQL connectivity database I have put. So here I am migrating from H2 to MySQL. So what I did, I have put the MySQL related driver related dependency. Okay. And then in the application property, the data source URL, username, password. For everything it is same. Username, password, and the driver class, and the Hibernate dialect. These are the property we need to keep in the application property. Okay. And yeah, one more, this is also, this property also is important. This one, DDL auto. DDL auto is what? DDL auto means what it will do. Means whether it will update the database, create up. You should always put update. Means what? Hibernate will know that I need to create. I need to create the table and update the table. All those things it will do for us. Spring Boot JPA Hibernate DDL auto. This property, I just ping you on chat. If you will not put anything, it will take it as create and update both. Okay. If you don't put anything, it will create and update. That means Hibernate here, putting this property, if you put this property in your application, you are telling to Hibernate. Hibernate means what? Hibernate means this jar actually, this Spring Boot Starter Data JP, this jar. it can get to know that I have to create and means I have to, what I should do, like I have to update the table. Okay, I have to create the table, I have to update the table. Means the DDL also I need to take care of. Okay, DDL means what, you know that in SQL your DDL is create, create, drop. These are your DDL commands, right? And DML is data definition language, DDL. Create and drop, create command, create table, drop table. These are DDL command. Okay, and then your insert, update, delete. These are DML, data manipulation, right? These are DML commands. So here you are telling Hibernate that create the table for us. Okay, update also means create. It will create the table. So how actually now things are happening for us? Let us try. Let me start the server. Okay, one more thing I will do. I'll stop it. Okay, I'll stop it. Actually, in real time, what we do, we have the form.xml, right? So what you will do, you will just your project is suppose in your GitHub. Okay, your project is in GitHub. Uh, you have clone your project. Okay, you have check out your code. Then what you will do? Suppose I have checked out my code here, REST web service. Okay, this is my directory. Here all my files are present. What I will do, pom.xml also present here. So in whichever directory pom.xml is present, what you should do, mbn clean install. This is your maven command. Okay, I am planning to also like give you some knowledge on maven. Are you interested for that? You might be having some basic knowledge, but do you need any class on 1 hour session on maven?
Yeah, yes, Usha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so let me just complete this database part. Okay, then after to this, I will just teach you 1 hour for Maven build tool, how this build tool works. Okay, and I'll just give some slight knowledge on Gradle as well. Because see, the all the Spring Boot project, either they use Maven or they use Gradle. Okay, so this form.xml you don't need to create, because we initially how we created this project. We created this project using our this Spring initializer, isn't it? We created it
Yes, ma'am.
using Spring initializer tool, the web
Yes.
tool. The web tool has created the project skeleton for us, isn't it? So actually in real time, actually what we do, we just we check out the project from the GitHub, and then we generate this command mbn clean install. Okay, and then the jar file we have got here, right, in the target. You see the target is the jar file. So this jar file, what we do, we just run it. You can use the mbn command to run the jar file. Mbn run mbn spring boot run, I think. Spring boot colon run. So your project will run, the jar file will run. Okay, I have to do some, I have to fix it why the spring boot runs. So maybe some plugin related issue. I have to fix it, that I will check later, but you can run it like this also. Command prompt. what I will do, this is my jar file, right? Copy this jar file.